our next speaker is Oscar Lozano, who is teacher training consultant and who is the project coordinator. Oskars Lozano, skolotāja apmācības konsultants un projekta koordinators. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you again for being here. I will explain you more or less the history of the project. A lot of things have already been said here, but I would like to explain all of you more or less how the project was born and all the steps that we have reached until now.
Paldies visiem, kas esat atnākuši. Šodien es jums vairāk paskaidrošu vēsturiskās gaitas, projekta vēsturiskās gaitas, un vairāk vai mazāk kādas tapa, un pa punktiem mēģināšu izskaidrot.
The project was born in a STEM Teachers Training Center. In Spain we have different regional governments, and in Valencia's regional government, the Ministry of Education, we have a special teachers training centers. So the initial group that think and began all this project is in the STEM. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, a specific teachers training center.
Tātad projekts ir radies Spānijā, Valencijā, īpašā skolotāju pedagogu izglītības centrā. Un, jā, principā tā.
So you must think that we are, in fact, actually, teachers that currently we are working as consultants for teacher training. So we are teachers from engineering, mathematics or science.
Principā sanāk tā, ka mēs esam skolotāji skolotājiem, kuri mācās kaut ko konkrētu tieši šajā programmā.
So we can avoid to have in our mind the point of view of the teachers. So we have speak about technology, but also about education, because the project is really educational and inclusion and technology. There is a mix of everything, but at the beginning it starts with a teacher's point of view.
Tātad mums ir daudz vieglāk izprast un saprast skolotāju skatu punktu, jo principā projekts ir par to, par iekļaušanos, par izglītojošo iekļaušanos un par 3D print tehnoloģiju, ko mēs varam viņiem izskaidrot caur viņu skatu punktu.
And of course our work is train teachers. So everything starts thinking about train teachers in a lot of things. The first thing, of course, was new technologies. We thought, we trained teachers in a new technologies, and we thought that 3D printed, it would be a very powerful technology.
Tātad mūsu mērķis, mūsu darbs ir trenēt skolotājus, pedagogus, un principā tas ir ļoti milzīgs un laikietilpīgs process, kas izmanto tieši šo 3D printēšanas tehnoloģiju, lai principā radītu iekļaušanās izglītības metodoloģiju un ideju.
At the same time, we are always thinking in inclusion methodologies that can be combined with every other matter. I don't mind if it's technology or if it's history or languages, but we all teachers must have in mind inclusion methodologies. So we thought that 3D printed could be a very powerful technology in order to have inclusion methodologies in the classroom.
Tātad mums skolotājiem ir jāatceras un jāsaprot to, ka 3D printēšanas tehnoloģija ir ļoti ietekmīgs un spēcīgs līdzeklis, lai dotu iespēju un palielinātu to iespēju iekļauties izglītības metodoloģijā.
On the other side, our previous experiences as teachers, we have dealt with visually impaired students. So it has already been said that usually teachers, when have some visually impaired students, some blind students, it's very difficult to deal with them in the classroom. This is something that I have felt personally several times in my teacher's life.
Pēc iepriekšējās pieredzes, kā skolotājam, kā pedagogam, ir ļoti grūti, principā, darboties ar vājredzīgu vai cilvēku, kuram ir redzes traucējumi. Nu, lūk, tieši tādēļ,
Okay. At least in Spain, it's very used to have visually impaired or even blind students in the mainstream high schools or schools. And in fact, I have, as I told you, I have felt this situation 3 times. So it suggested us to use technology, because we are technology or mathematics teachers, to use technology as an inclusive education methodology. So we can find that technology can achieve several purposes in education.
Tātad, kā iepriekš Oskars uzsvēra, tas ir ļoti grūti iekļaut šos cilvēkus parastajā sabiedrībā, parastajās ikdienas gaitās. Tāpēc tieši šī tehnoloģija tiek izmantota izglītībā, lai iekļautu šos cilvēkus. Un lūk, būs vairāki tā kā padomi, lai to izdarītu.
First of all, raise awareness. The visually impaired people has their own needs. Not only visually impaired people, but every other disabilities, they need to understand how they work. And it's something that teachers don't know usually. So, not only teachers, but also students must to be conscious about all the needs and how the visually impaired community works and live and still and all these things. So the first of all is raise awareness among all the students and teachers community.
Pirmais mērķis būtu palielināt izpratni par vājredzīgo un cilvēkiem ar redzes traucējumiem viņu vajadzībām. Un tieši, lai viņus iekļautu šajā parastajā ikdienā, parastajā dienas vidē.
Another thing, it's already told here, is to empower teachers acquiring skills, knowledge that is related with new technologies that could be very useful in employment and entrepreneurship. It's a future technology, so if they learn these new technologies, they will have, the students of course, they will have more opportunities in their future work.
Tātad dot iespēju arī gan pedagogiem, gan skolēniem iegūtās prasmes izmantot arī tālāk nākotnē un palīdzēt iekļaut vājredzīgos mūsu sabiedrībā.
So we began to mix these 2 ideas, thinking that producing in the classroom a 3D printing objects will be something very useful to the visually impaired community, and at the same time will be very useful learning technology and new methodologies. So we mix both ideas and think about how to get them forward.
Tātad mērķis varētu būt radīt tieši klasē vai klases iekārtošanā 3D printing tehnoloģijās veidotus plānus, kuri būtu ļoti noderīgi vājredzīgo sabiedrībā.
I want to insist that the key point for us is we are teacher training consultants. So our point of view from the beginning is get new technologies in the classroom, learn the teachers first and the students later the new technologies, because we are technology and scientists and mathematics teachers and consultants.
Tātad galvenais visā šajā varētu būt tas, lai iekļautu šīs 3D tehnoloģijas, 3D print tehnoloģijas klasē, pirmkārt apmācīt skolotājus un pēc tam tālāk apmācīt arī studentus.
All these concepts we thought that it could be perfectly fitted into an Erasmus Plus project. So we began to think about which partners can help us to get this target, to perform all these ideas in a concrete way.
Tātad visi šie mērķi ir perfekti piemēroti Erasmus Plus projektam, tāpēc tika sākta partneru meklēšana.
So we began to search for partners that could help us to reach it. And obviously, maybe the first step, we are technology teachers again, was to get in contact with some expertise technology organization. We have had previously some collaborations with company BQ, so we appointed them as the perfect partner in a technology part of the project.
Tātad pirmām kārtām mēs sākām meklēt partnerus, ar kuriem esam sadarbojušies arī agrāk. Tas mūs aizveda pie mūsu partneriem BQ. Un sanāca kā sanāca, ka viņi izrādījās ļoti diezgan perfekti partneri, sadarbības partneri.
For us, maybe this was an easy step, because we are engineers, they are engineers, good contact, but we do nothing about visually impaired people. So we need a lot of information and we must learn a lot about this point of the project. So we began to search for partners that could help us in this idea, in this project, to develop all this project. It's a very important participation was needed for this.
Tātad gan mūsu puse, gan viņu puse. Mēs abi partneri bijām vairāk kā inženieru daļa, un mums trūka galvenā komponenta atbalsta tieši vairedzīgo daļā. Tāpēc mēs nodevāmies meklēt partnerus tieši šajā daļā, kas ir galvenais atribūts visā šajā projektā.
Fortunately, we found the 3 other organizations, more even in 3 very different countries, that will give all a very good vision at what are happening in Europe, in this world. So we have from Greece, Latvia and Iceland visions of the visually impaired community.
Tātad mēs nodibinājām kontaktus ar 3 lielām organizācijām no Latvijas, Īslandes un Grieķijas.
And finally, all of this is a teacher training project, so this must arrive to the schools. So we needed the schools in order to implement this, but I want to explain this.
Tātad šis ir skolotāju trenēšanas projekts, tāpēc šim projektam obligāti ir jātiek ievestam skolās, par ko paskaidros tālāk Oskars.
First of all, the 5 schools that participate, you can see there are 3 schools from Greece and 2 schools from Spain. Some of them has already have a speech, and we didn't need them because we need to test all our ideas, all our productions, all the things that the other organization must perform. That this must be tested in the classroom.
Tātad mums jau ir padomā vairākas skolas, kurās mēs testēsim tieši šo programmu, un viņas arī būs galvenie izmēģinājumi trusīši visā šajā.
We thought that Erasmus Plus format for KA210 is a cooperation for innovation and strategic partnership for school education. So we think that this was the perfect platform, and in this platform we need to do intellectual outputs and multiplier events. This is a very close format in Erasmus Plus.
Tātad šī projekta platforma diezgan izcili palīdz un...
Es noteikti varu pateikt, vienkārši es no aģentūras, tāpēc es tā zinu, ka vienkārši saprata, ka visi tie iepriekš aprakstītie viņu darbības principi atbilst tieši Erasmus Plus KA201 tā kā projektu tipam. Jo, ja jūs sapratāt, es savā īsajā prezentācijā arī teicu, ka Erasmus ir ļoti daudz dažādas iespējas. Ja? Tur var būt gan jauniešu apmaiņas, gan tur jaunatnes darbinieku mobilitātes. Un šeit ir šis Key Action 2, kas ir tie inovatīvie, strateģiskie partnerības projekti. Šeit tieši ir skolas jautājumos, bet ir iespējams arī jaunatnes jautājumos. Ja? Tur lūdzu sazināties ar mūsu aģentūru.
Paldies.
So, we thought all that we can do 3 intellectual outputs, 3 productions, 3 tangible results. The first result was a teacher training course of learning service methodology, specially applied to the visual impaired community. I think Katerina has told you all about this course.
Tātad pirmais noteikti no svarīgākajiem punktiem visā šajā projektā ir skolotāju izglītošanas kurs, kurš noteikti palīdzēs iekļaut vājredzīgos un cilvēkus ar redzes traucējumiem mūsdienu sabiedrībā.
As he already has told you, it's a service learning methodology, especially pointed them, and she has already explained more or less the characteristics of this course. Okay. We thought in another teacher training course, in this case it's a teacher training course technologically point of view, so 3D design and printed and especially related with plans for visually impaired community.
Tātad otrais kurs, tas ir tieši tāpat pedagogus izglītojušais, taču vairāk orientēts uz dizainu un 3D printēšanas tehnoloģiju.
Our target is teach to the teachers, train teachers in all the things that we have speak about. So.
Tātad mūsu mērķis ir izglītot skolotājus, trenēt viņus tieši visās tajās jomās, kas tika iepriekš atrunātas.
So the 2 main intellectual products should be teacher training courses as they are.
Tātad gala produkts būs tieši tas, ko mēs pasniegsim saviem skolotājiem un skolēniem.
But at the end, all the teacher training should be implemented, should be in the classroom. If it is not, there is no sense in trained teachers.
Un skatoties uz šo no citas puses, tam visam ir jābūt klasēs. Ja šīs tehnoloģijas netiks izmantotas klasēs, no tā nebūs nekādas jēgas.
So we need some other tool to help teachers to do the implementation, and it comes a mini textbook and teacher's guide edition about 3D printed as a service learning methodology to put it in the classroom and for visually impaired community.
Tātad mums ir vajadzīgi dažādi palīgi materiāli, lai palīdzētu skolotājiem ieviest tieši šo tehnoloģiju klasēs, lai palīdzētu viņiem izglītot tālāk studentus un citus skolotājus. Tāpēc tika radīta tā kā mini rokas grāmata skolotājiem par 3D printēšanas tehnoloģiju.
It will be explained in the next speech by the Icelandic team. And finally, a proper implementation in the classroom will be done the next year, testing all the intellectual outputs. The really important point in testing all of this is that teachers will give feedback to the teachers' training courses. So, to do a good product, we need this feedback with teachers.
Tātad galu galā īstenošana, tieši pareizā īstenošana notiks tikai tad šī tehnoloģija tiks izmantota klasēs, un tieši tajā brīdī, kad šī tehnoloģija tiks palaista klasēs un klases tiks aprīkotas ar vajadzīgiem materiāliem un palīgierīcēm, tikai tad mēs varēsim saņemt atsauksmes no skolotājiem un pārbaudīt, vai tas strādā.
Finally, during the next year, all this implementation will be held in the different schools that participate in the project. Obviously, giving constantly feedback to the responsibilities of the main intellectual outputs in order to give, at the end, a nice intellectual output result.
Tātad nākamgad tiks viss šis izmēģināts vairākās skolās, kur katrs atbildīgais dos savu atsauksmi par šo projektu, un tālāk jau tas tiks izvērtēts augstāk stāvošo kārtībā.
And of course we are giving to the students, we want to give to the students a nice opportunity for the two main ideas. One of them, learn new technologies in the classroom, and the other, raise awareness about visually impaired community.
Tātad mēs gribam dot studentiem, skolēniem un skolotājiem iespēju pirmais mācīties par 3D printēšanas tehnoloģiju, un otrais, kā to izmantot sabiedrībā ar vājredzīgiem vai cilvēkiem ar redzes traucējumiem.
And it is not the main important thing, but it is also a result to produce 3D printed map by students. I have one here. One of the participating schools, the Conselleria in Valencia, is doing some performance objects, but I must say it, we are not people that are used to work with visually impaired people. So our teachers are engineers. So we are doing all these tasks thinking as an engineer. We need the help of the three organizations that work with visually impaired community.
Tātad šīs ir kartes, ko ir izveidojuši skolēni. Tās ir 3D printa tehnoloģijā izveidotas kartes. Un, kā uzsver Oskars, viņiem ir nepieciešama palīdzība no 3 dažādām organizācijām, lai tas viss taptu un notiktu.
Due to the size of the 3D printed, we have done the main floor of this high school in 4 pieces.
Tās 3D kartes parāda, principā tas ir skolas plāns.
So they mounted us here, we can glue them, and we will have all the map. I will pass you to
tā ir skolas karte. Vairākos stāvos. Ja mūs salīmē kopā, mums ir pilnīgi skolas plāns iegūts.
This was the first attempt. The first attempt in gray color and the second attempt in blue one.
Tātad pirmais paraugs, kurš tapa, viņš ir pelēkā krāsā, un pārējie paraugi būs zilā krāsā.
It's better to put it extended, but you can more or less have an idea of what we are doing.
Vislabāk būtu, ja jūs noliktu šo kartu zemē, kopā saliekot kā puzles gabaliņus un tad pārbaudīt, aptaustīt.
And we want to insist that we are thinking in several things. New technologies are future. So I have heard the speech before. There are a lot of technologies in order to produce 3D objects, and this is only one more.
Mēs gribam uzsvērt to, ka mēs domājam par tehnoloģijām, par to izmantošanu nākotnē. Jo ir jau vairākas tehnoloģijas, ko mēs izmantojam, taču ir nepieciešams vairāk.
Our colleague from Poland has said that maybe they take a lot of time to produce. We know that you can produce a lot quickly, but we can send this to print to 25 countries in 1 second. In 1 second we push send it, and the design is sending to 25 countries at the same time, and in 25 countries can print in 4 hours, or even in 100 countries. So in 4 hours you can produce not only one, but also 1,000, it depends. Because we send the file by internet to everybody in the world.
Protams, kā uzsver viesis no Polijas, tas aizņem ļoti daudz laika, lai izveidotu šīs mapas, taču tieši tajā pašā laikā mēs varam nodot informāciju tālāk, piemēram, 25 valstīm, un vienā sekundē nospiest kliku, un šī informācija aizies uz 25 valstīm, un šajās valstīs tiks izprintētas šīs kartes. Un ne tikai vienā eksemplārā, bet arī 1000 eksemplāros.
The course is training as well as the design and every documentation related with the project will be available in this website.
Tātad šis kurs būs pieejams plašākai apskatē tieši šajā websaitā.
It's more or less this appearance. So we have well, several windows where everything, even downloads, will be available in order to get accessible to everybody. All the results, files with documentation, designs, courses, trainings, everything will be here available.
Tātad šajā websaitā viss būs pilnīgi pieejams, arī lejuplādējumi materiāli būs pieejami pilnīgi visiem.
And I want to explain about Scientist platform. Scientist platform is really all the education ministries of all Europe. They have a project, a Scientist project, where every interesting educational project can be uploaded if they give you the permission, and they have a lot of advantages. I will explain.
Tātad Scientist platforma, viņa arī būs pieejama vairākās izglītības ministrijās Eiropā, un ja te būs pieprasījums, tad noteikti pēc pieprasījuma viņa būs arī pieejama.
Yes.
Un tālāk viņš paskaidros.
Search. No. In Scientist. Scientist Home. Scientist is a platform. You can source from them. There are a lot of things that you can source. Sorry. Resources. There are a repository of a lot of resources, and there's a they have accepted our project, they are expecting for the results, and they're a very interesting service. It's a translation service to every language from European community, free of charge, of course.
Un tātad šajā platformā ir pieejams tā kā tulkošanas servis, kurš ir bezmaksas un pieejams vairākās Eiropas valstīs.
So when our project was finished, it will be in the Scientist repository available to everyone in Europe.
Kad mūsu projekts jau būs pienācis beigām, šī platforma būs pieejama jebkuram.
So, go ahead. It is all. Thank you very much. Paldies for your attention.